So the law of syllogism, oops, dropped my marker. Oh, that's sloppy handwriting. How can I expect you guys to learn this with that type of handwriting? By the way, I got B's in all my penmanship classes when I was a kid. I was the first one done. I didn't realize that affected my grade. So now anyways, law of syllogism is this. If P is true, according to the law of detachment, what do I know about Q? It's true, right? But what if I were to say, if Q is true, what do I know about R? Let me write it a different way. Maybe it'll make more sense. If Q is true, what do I know about R? It's true as well, right? The implication's the same. If I have a hypothesis that is true, and then I have a conclusion, that will be true as well. Correct? Does that make sense? Now, the law of syllogism is this. That if P is true, and then that implies that Q is true, then Q implies that R is true. We could just skip all this stuff and skip the middleman and just say that P implies R. Now this only works if it's true, true, true. If I have a false statement in there, then, well, it doesn't work. So you might say to yourself, Mr. Adams, what does all this mean? Well, let's see this in practice, okay? If a figure is a square, right? Then the figure is a rectangle. Okay. If a figure is a rectangle, then it has 4 sides. So now we're going to unpack this a little bit. P. A figure is a square. My Q is what? A figure is a rectangle. R. A figure how is it that I cannot spell that? Has 4 sides. Okay. So now there's a couple of assumptions that we have to make. First of all, both of those are conditional. They're not biconditional, they're conditional. They're conditional statements. Alright? So, right here, I have P. A figure is a square. True. Then I have the figure is a rectangle. That's also true. Okay? If it's true, right? If I'm holding up a circle, then none of this makes any sense, right? If I say a figure is a circle, then these conditional statements don't mean anything, right? So then, a figure is a rectangle. Still true, maybe. We'll see. Then it has 4 sides. Okay? that should be true too, depending on our situation. So now, the law of syllogism goes like this. If P implies Q and Q implies R, then P implies R. In other words, if P is true, then that would imply that Q is true, and that would imply that R is true. In other words, P implies R. Help me out with this. How do I write the conditional statement P implies R? Well, let's go back and review what P, Q, and R are. Let me read both the conditional statements to begin with. It says if a figure is a square, then the figure is a rectangle. If a figure is a rectangle, then it has 4 sides. P is a figure is a square. Q is a figure is a rectangle. R is a figure has 4 sides. How do I write, using the law of syllogism, P implies R? If, what was P? If a figure is a square. Very good. Then it has 4 sides. You might say, well, Mr. Adams, that's pretty easy. Well, of course it is. I wouldn't start off with a hard proof, right? So now, there's a reason why Mr. Adams likes to call the law of syllogism cut out the middleman. Why is that? Well, basically what we're doing is we're cutting out the stuff in the middle. Like I said before, if I start off with a circle, I can't tell anything, right? So if I sat here and I held up a circle and I said, these are the 2 conditional statements, what can you tell me? You would say P is false. And none of this stuff matters.